with lighting special effects. Hopefully not offense. My name is Jeff Sailing. I'm a co-founder and executive director at StartUpNV. And thanks everybody for coming out to Pitch Day for 100K. If you've tuned in with us before, you know that I love pitch days, and it's always a great day to pitch. We've been away for a while we finished up Angel NV, so welcome back. It's been a month or so since we've had our last pitch day. Today we're going to hear from Paul Aubert from Noovo, and congratulations to Paul for getting through our process to get here today, because we screen probably 15 or 20 companies for every company that manages to get here on pitch day and pitch to us. So thanks for enduring the process and for being here today. StartUpNV is Nevada's statewide nonprofit startup accelerator and incubator. We operate seven programs for entrepreneurs or founders, if you prefer, and 4 for-profit investment funds. Our nonprofit is supported by government grants and corporate sponsors in the short term, and over the long term by accelerator companies who pledge a small amount of equity to the nonprofit, and by our investors who donate some of their profits, sometimes called carry, to the nonprofit as well. We run Pitch Day for 100K every other Wednesday, where companies pitch for the Q&A and for entry into our accelerator program. And that comes with a $50,000 investment from Founder Paul Aubert, which is our pre-seed fund. Now that's added to by our investor syndicate, many of whom are here on the call with us, some of whom will watch this recording later. And then all of that is matched by Nevada's SSBCI program. So just to give you an idea of what that means, since 2021, we have done 36 transactions investing in 25 different companies. We've directly invested $8.5 million. Now that's been added to by our partners to a total of $28.8 million. And our investments do range from the lowest is $50,000, and the biggest one we've ever done is just a hair over $4 million. So that all averages out to a little over $500,000 per investment that we make. Now that $8.5 million of a direct investment I talked about just a second ago currently is worth $24.5 million. So way to go, founders, for making your companies more valuable for our investors. And way to go, investors. That's a pretty good return in just a few years. So that's a MOIC, or a multiple on invested capital, of just about 3, which is really good for having been doing this for just about 3 years. Now for the legal disclaimer. The founders pitching here today are pitching from our SEC compliant, pitching for investment from our SEC compliant venture capital fund, along with our SEC accredited and Nevada certified investor syndicates. We invite the whole community to attend for educational purposes, kind of like watching maybe a nicer version of Shark Tank. Now, the educational component of what we do is critical to our economic development mission here in Nevada. So once again, today, the pitches are not a general solicitation for investment. If all of that stuff is Greek to you, credit investors, all that stuff, check us out, check online at our website, startupnv.org. We got explanations for all that stuff there. Now, the nonprofit work that we do here would not be possible without financial help from grants and sponsors. The City of Las Vegas, Clark County, GoEd, the EDA, the USDA, those are all supporters. Thanks very much for your support. Our work wouldn't be possible without it. I've got a couple of investment opportunities for the investors in our group. We just finished up our Angel NV program 2 weeks ago, and there are 2 companies that have investment from that, Zencentive and Tilt. There's 2 other companies in addition to Zencentive and Tilt who will be offering special purpose vehicles for opportunities for you to invest directly in those companies for as little as $5,000. Deal memos for those specific investments are going to be coming out from us over the course of probably the next 10 days. So be on the lookout for all of those opportunities as investors. So we are about ready to begin. Paul, if you're ready, I will get out of the way and you can take over this awesome presentation, and I will see you back up here in about 10 minutes, or about 20 minutes, 30 minutes.
Thank you. Are we good? Can you hear me well?
Yes, you are good to go whenever you're ready, and I will start the timer after you introduce yourself and your company.
Perfect. Well, welcome everybody. Thank you very much for having me today. My name is Paul Aubert. I'm from France, and I'm one of the co-founders of Noovo, a company that tried to redefine the way people are living and working on the road. First, I want to start with the statement. The RV world is dead. Of course, the RV world is not totally dead, but the way the old companies has been building RVs since decades is now new and totally different. Since the COVID and the combination of two factors, one, the working remotely has become something totally normal, and two, the launch of Starlink satellite Wi-Fi from Elon Musk bring the totally new demand from the customers for RVs. And this is why we decided to create the Grit Indoors. At Noovo, we want to offer a viable livable options for long-term travel. Our customers are going to be digital nomads, influencers, we will have web designers, travel nurses that are tired of spending half of their budget on Airbnbs, rental cars, and they have a 13-week shift. They don't know what to do in between shifts, looking for really, truly viable solutions in order to live, work, and travel in the van. Retired who want to do a tour and see their grandchildren, their friends, and moving around, but not at any cost. Entrepreneurs who want to travel, work remotely, but they need the comfort, the technology, and the connectivity in order to do so. The old RVs don't give them these possibilities. This is why we launched 3 products: the Noovo Light for couples and solo travelers, the Noovo Pop for families, and our latest model, the Noovo Plus, the very first 7-feet-high van in the US. And we are the first and the only company in the US working on this beautiful van. But what have we done since 3 years? The company has been created end of 2020. We sold more than 300 units that are nowadays driving on the road, on the American roads. We generated more than 15 million of incomes with a 10% EBITDA, and we are profitable since day one. We are debt-free and have a very small investment to start the company. Our vision is to have about 1,000 vans on the road in 2027. During the last 3 years, we've been iterating, working with our customers. We've been product-centric and customer-centric, trying to understand what were the needs of these new targets that for most of them were first-timer. What are they looking? What are the needs? What are the feedbacks on the product we are building? But also, what are the services they are looking for? Our customers, they cannot wait 3 months in the service shop for the RVs to be repaired. That's not even a possibility. So we had to be creative to find solutions for them in order to them to live on the road without any compromises. In 2024, our objective is to sell about 115 units. We are on track as we sold about 45 units for the first semester. And the future of the next part of the year are going to be very interesting. Our mission is to become the leader on the alternative of housing. We want to offer a possibility for our customers to travel, live, work without any compromises. We want them to be able to have an extension of their house. And so we want to sell about 1,500 units in 2028 and become the leader on the alternative of housing. In order to do so, we have a team of 3 multi-skilled co-founders. Antoine, who is an architect, engineer, and cabinet makers, who had his own cabinetry company in Paris for palace and beautiful apartments. He's in charge of all the production. Benoit, who had a 5-year degree in UX design, he's in charge of marketing, communication, and long-term vision. And myself, I have a 5 years international business. I'm in charge of the sales, administrations, and the daily operations. We have 2 advisors, very important for us. Mark, who is a financial director at Valtier, who is helping us on all the financing needs. And our industrial company need a lot of financial needs. And then Charles Peugeot, from the Peugeot family, who is the vice president of Dodge. Dodge is our most important partner, and having such a good relationship with them opens so much doors. We're going to receive next week the first e-van. We are second stage manufacturer for them, and there's very few companies that can have this chance. Of course, to reach our objective, we have our strategic roadmap that already started last week, to be honest. This weekend, we were in San Juan Capistrano, south of Los Angeles, to release our Noovo Plus. The van that I told you that is 7 feet tall. And we are the only and the first company in the US to propose and to work on. We received 15 deposits during this weekend, and we're gonna have about 50 units only available until the end of the year. Then we're gonna need to scale up the production. As of right now, I'm talking to you, but all my team are moving from a 6,000 square feet warehouse to a 20,000 square feet warehouse, Northeast Las Vegas. That's gonna allow us to produce up to 500 vehicles in 2 years. We will then open in 2026 a new facility to increase our production capacity. In July 2024, we're gonna create this automated assembly line, creating some molds, having an in-source CNC, 3D printing in order to reduce the cost, the weight, and the time we're spending to build 1 unit. Then in September, we will expand our distribution network as we're already working to work with RV dealers. And then finally, for 2025, as we are already starting now, working with Garmin to create our own app for our customer to be able to communicate in between each others, but also to have all the apps that you want while you are traveling and the apps you want to monitor the van. But let's talk a bit about the competitions. Of course, the RV industry has a lot of different competitors, but most of them are on the recreational use. I'm gonna give you one number. On average, RV owners in the US spend 27 nights in their RVs per year. Our customer, 180. You don't have the same needs. You don't have the same demand when you spend this amount of time. Our vans are better in technology with the lithium battery, solar panels. They are better in quality as we are using better product and materials, and they are connected all the time. Our distribution strategy has changed from 2023 to 2024 as we went from an upfitter to a manufacturer. We've been selling direct to customers since the beginning of our journey, and now we want to expand with the dealer network. We want to have physical location where our customers can come, check our van, have service, spend a good time. And so this is what we're going to plan in 2024. We are already, as of right now, in Colorado, Nevada, Los Angeles, Texas, and Florida. Our objective is to increase this number of dealers around the country in order to have this physical location. But at the same time, we want to create our own boutique, having this possibility where our customer can come, rent, enjoy a good moment, and buy some vans. We want to create this full experience where our customers can associate themselves to our brand, Noovo. We like to say that our customer call our van their home. I was just saying before this example of Jason Cole. A customer is a solo father. He every morning drop his son with the van at school. Now the son is the most popular child in the school. And then he go 30 minutes away from Austin, Texas. He walk all day long. Then come back, pick up his son, go to a guitar lesson, and then sleep outside of Austin, not in their house. And then in the morning, drop the son at school again. So I like to say that our customers are not using a recreational vehicle. They are using an extension of their house. And so they want to have the same comfort, the same technology, and the same connectivity. If I'm here today in front of you, it's because we are looking to raise $4 million for 15% of our equity. This $4 million is going to be used in three major verticals. Industrialization. We need to invest a lot in order to increase our production capacity and to reduce our costs. That goes through molds, that go with the purchase of machineries, but we also need to hire a CMO, marketing officer, and a warehouse manager that will do the transition in between the office and the warehouse. And of course, in marketing. We've been growing organically since the beginning of our journey. And as of right now, we know that every time we spend a little bit in marketing, we receive a lot of demands. I want to thank you a lot for listening to me today. I hope we will have the opportunity of working together. I thank you very much, and hopefully I can see you on the road. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Paul. Jeff, over to you.
Very interesting, very interesting. Thanks, Paul. Really appreciate it. Thanks, Maggie. And thanks to both of our founders for presenting today, both interesting presentations. And I think, like you said, it gets awkward when you've got direct competitors in the room at the same time. So just a joke there. Just a few program notes to wrap things up. Investors, if you're curious about how to become investors with us in companies like the ones you've seen today and others, check us out on our at our FundNV page, fundnv.com, or just follow the investor workflow on our StartUpNV.org page, and it'll lead you to a place where you can fill out some interest information and probably end up talking to me on the phone or on a Zoom about kind of what your interest is. So like if you remember some of the stats I recited at first, this is a way that you can do pretty well and be a big contributor to the startup community here in Nevada as well. And thanks again to the founders who presented today, everybody who listened in, for all the questions that were asked, and to our investor group, I know will be keenly watching this later on, and to the whole StartUpNV team for making this happen today. We're going to see you back here again in 2 weeks with 2 additional Nevada startups. Until then, take care of yourself, and if you can, someone else too. We'll see you in 2 weeks.